I bow to all the seekers of truth. We are seeking truth, reality, not hallucinations, not imagination, not our own mental projections. We have not been yet able, many of us who are seeking, understand that reality is what it is. It will be the same, it has been the same. We cannot coin it for ourselves. We cannot organize it. And we cannot think about it. We cannot put a mental projection of our own as to this is the reality, this is not the reality. Today only I was reading with great surprise an article about sniffing the glue that people are doing. I mean, now this is the last they are sniffing now, then petrol, all sorts of things. Well, why? Why are they doing it? Because for some sensation. But they said that when you do that, what happens? That you start believing that whatever you are doing is right. That's exactly is the point today. Without sniffing also there are many who believe like that. That whatever their ideas are about God or about spirit, about seeking, is the right thing. And they don't want to see what reality is. They just want to project their ego, their imagination, to believe that this is the reality. And then they just are convinced that they know everything. With such people, what to do? How to tell them that reality is something very different. Now what happens when we put our mental projections like this? We conceive things, we read books, we form our own ideas. It's a very dangerous thing that can happen to human beings. And that is, your ego starts bloating, becoming big and big and big without your knowledge. A person who has an ego does not harm himself at all, he harms others. He doesn't harm anyone as such, but he harms in a way which can be very deep, hurting. He'll say things which will hurt a person. He'll do things that will hurt. Nations after nations can be destroyed with this ego, like Hitler did. So when you put your mental projections like this, I can do it, I can find it, I know, I believe, then this ego, you see, grows in your head. If it was only your head, nothing to bother. But it grows round your heart. It grows round your heart. And your heart becomes like a stone. You cannot feel anything that is real. You cannot understand what is real and what is unreal. All your discrimination is lost completely. I went to Bangalore and there were some very ordinary people working in gardens and things like that. They saw me and they recognized. Not difficult. One lady came and told me, my son has gone away for 2 years. He was only 14, now he must be 16. And I know you can call him back. I said, how do you know? He said, we know who you are. Just seeing my face. Can you imagine? Such sensitivity they had. I said, all right. And the boy came back after 2 days. But look at their quality. The whole level of sensitivity is lost with this ego. When Rama went to jungle, as you know, he was sent away, everyone recognized them who were in the jungle leading a very normal life. But today it's getting worse and worse and worse. We have no eyes to see. We have no sensitivity to understand. We have our own images built around us, such barriers. We have lost all sensitivity to reality, to goodness, to divinity, to love, to affection, to compassion. And that's why it is so difficult. It's very difficult. Even when we say we are seeking reality, it's kind of a big announcement of the ego. But there are many who do believe we have found the reality, we know reality, we have full conception of reality, and this is what it is. If suppose tomorrow Christ comes, who is going to recognize him? Not you. Not the people who are living in the cities, not them. But when he goes in the forest, two simple village people, they will. Because they haven't lost that. They are still there in the center. This ego develops with so many things. Money, one thing. Sometimes the belief that we are money people also can. Power. I mean, as soon as somebody becomes a minister, you should say it's completely changed. His face is changed, his style is changed, his talking is changed. They've forgotten what life is like. There's no fun in their life, no fun at all. Just like dried fishes. Better not go near them, otherwise you will get the stink of their ego. This is what is the problem today, present day. Sahajogis get upset about it. Why, mother, people don't progress in Sahajoga? First, they have their own conception. You tell them this is Sahaja. And as you have to tell somebody this is reality, say you say this is diamond, then you have to also remove all the obstructions which are on top of that to show you that this is reality. The wisdom lies in understanding what it is. Let's see for ourselves. That's the soundness of a character if you have. At least you will settle down and try to see what it is. Instead of that, people just get angry. Oh, we don't believe it. But you don't believe with what? You haven't got the sensitivity to know what to believe, what not to believe. But it is even much more dangerous than that. Because when you have to seek, because that's your nature, you have been seeking all your lives, not this life. And when you come again to seek in this life, which is a special time, you are always enamored by something that is unreal, that appeals to your ego or to your superego. Means a person, if he can somehow or other give you some sort of a sensation or some sort of a mesmerism, you think, oh, this is wonderful, I felt so happy, I was very high. Just like getting intoxicated. But what have you achieved is the point by that. Like if you take some sort of this glue business, I don't know what happens. Today, somehow I have been reading 3 articles on such things. Something like cocaine, they said, is the modern trouble now. The drugs are out now, the cocaine. With all this intelligence, with all this knowledge that you have gathered, if you have to end up your life with cocaine and glue, where is the wisdom? When you have to select something for your life, for the fun of your life, for the beauty of your life, what do you select? Something that is going to destroy you? You see others are destroyed, still you go to it. This is the danger of this horrible ego which we have created of our own. But it may also take you to people who will pamper your ego. For example, somebody says, all right, in this hall if you have to come, pay £100, otherwise you cannot enter. You'll be surprised, this hall will be filled completely by all the big cars will be standing here and people will be just sitting here. It's a sort of as if they are going to races. Who pays more? It's a competition. In the elite society, you will be surprised. The talk is like this. Who is your guru? What are you going to do this time? They said, I have tried this, I have paid about £5,000, now I think I'll have to go somewhere with £10,000. That's the talk they have. They talk like that. If it was only stupidity that you achieve through your ego, it's not so dangerous. But discrimination is completely lost, and you are enamored more by unreal things. And with little understanding, with little intelligence, you can understand. Very little is needed. You don't have to read books to understand that. But that simple common sense of a village folk you don't have. Like, I remember my granddaughter once went with her father and mother to a Lama. She's a realized soul. The parents are not. And this Lama had shaved his head completely and was sitting with a big robe. So first, everybody was going, she was looking at him. She couldn't understand what this fellow is up to because everybody was touching his feet. And then father went and touched her feet. And when the mother went and touched her feet, she couldn't bear it. She was only 5 years of age. She just put back her hands like this and stood before him. He said, why are you such a hypocrite? You are not a realized soul. Just by shaving your head and by wearing this dress, do you become a realized soul? She just stood before him, 5-year-old child. And the parents were rather embarrassed. And the fellow didn't know where to look when she said, in Hindi they say par. You are not even par. How are you sitting there and asking everybody to touch your feet? What right have you got? And then the parents got embarrassed and they said, you shouldn't say like that. He said, I would not have said if you had not touched his feet. See the 5-year-old child. And otherwise she's a very mild, sweet person. She stood up. But somebody comes as Lama, finished. If somebody is coming here Lama, for us, he is the greatest. Then he tells us that you have to go to Shambhala in the Gobi desert. We are all packing our things, going to Gobi desert to die there. What else? Is there any nirvana written in that Gobi desert? This is what it is happening to the seekers who have been seeking for ages and ages, and they have come on this earth deliberately to get their realization. And there they are, ending up their lives in Gobi desert. But if anybody tells them that's not the thing, that's not the reality, then they get very angry. Why should you criticize? But main thing is, you have to find it for yourself. You have to understand that the power has to work through you. Just like blind, you see, going under a cover. If somebody says go 3,000 pounds, all right, then 6,000 pounds, all right, then 10,000 pounds, all right. Just walking towards the hell, that's all it is. You can't pay for God. You can't pay. You can't read about it. You have to experience. And the experience, when it is yours, you become part and parcel of God Almighty. You become the power. Perhaps very few human beings realize how delicately, beautifully, for so many ages, God has worked on human beings to create you today. And the seekers are a special category of people. But modern times are the worst times and the best times. Because all kinds of negative forces are working now. First they have built up your ego, and now this ego is fed by people who are utilizing. And after that, you have lost even the concept, the idea as to what to find. This is the situation of today's seekers.